Once in a Lifetime is set about this fictional town in Ireland called Ardagh, and it's about a group of people who live around there, and at the core is a shop called Kenny's, and really that's not where a lot of the action takes place, but that's one of the central characters really. And there's the man who owns Kenny's and his beautiful wife Ingrid, and she's a TV personality. She has what looks like the perfect life, but it's not quite perfect. She's in her 50s and she's grown up kids and she's getting older, so that's creating a few problems in the TV world. Then there's her daughter and her daughter's best friend. Her daughter's best friend was brought up by her dad and her stepmom. She never knew her real mom because her mom died. And we see her search for her real mother, like look into the past to see who her real mom is. The third character is someone else who works in Kenny's. She's a very bad relationship with her mum. So I suppose it's about motherhood as well, how it's not always what it seems to be. And then the fourth character who links them all is this wonderful mystical woman called Star Bluestone. And she knows them all and she's very wise. She's sort of the wise woman. And she's a craftswoman. She makes these beautiful artisan tapestries. And something happens to change all their lives. And it's about how they cope with that. And there's humour and there's sorrow along the way. When I start to write a book, I come up with the characters first, and then I think, okay, what if? So I had this woman who's in her 50s who is at the top of her game in Ireland in television, political programme, but because she's in her 50s, I think that invisible line, she's just about to cross it and go over the point where, you know, very intelligent woman, but she is perceived as being too old. And I thought that was a fascinating thing to write about, how men can go on and get older, and you know, that's somehow sexy and distinguished, but with women, as they say in that wonderful line in the First Wives Club about the 3 ages of women, there's babe, district attorney, or driving Miss Daisy. So this character, she's sort of moving from being district attorney to being driving Miss Daisy. And yet she is so much more. She's been judged physically. So that was one of the themes I wrote about. And it was so much fun. And there was so much room for scope. And should she have Botox? Should she not? That was very exciting. I also looked at searching for who you are. One of the characters in the book, she was brought up by her dad and her stepmom. And she never really knew her mother, and it's about the search for her mother and finding out that her dead mother really is very different from everything she'd ever thought she was. I suppose the search for who you are, which is what I always seem to write about. When people ask me, why are my books successful, you know what, I don't know, and believe me, I'm as surprised as anyone. I go, that's fantastic, and I'm so privileged that people buy them. I think Irish authors have something, and we have the storytelling ability, and we have the sense of humour. You know, it's not that we don't take ourselves too seriously, because, I mean, I'm very serious about my work, but we can laugh at the hard times. It's a very Irish cultural thing. You know, when things are going very bad, you have to make a joke. And I think that shines out in a lot of Irish writers' books, and I hope that's what, you know, works in mine too. You know, I never set out to have a theme in my books. I don't really, it's not that I don't think about theme, but I don't plan to have a message with every book. And yet there seems to be a message that comes through, which is that love yourself and you can do anything in the world. You know, if you respect yourself and you're a strong person and you understand who you are, you can go on and cope with pretty much anything. And I think that's the message that comes out in all my books, sort of my message.